Welcome to Madden NFL 20. Here you can select your difficulty, play style, favorite team, or accessibility options. You can always change these later from the game settings. Accessibility settings.
Hello, everyone. It's the coach. Welcome.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Straight ahead, bragging rights on the line in the 46th meeting of the AFC and the NFC in the 2019 NFL Pro Bowl game.
Let's go, baby.
On first down, Breeze. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. For Drew Brees, this his 12th Pro Bowl nomination, though he hasn't played all 12 years, but still, what a career and what a season. And to do it at this age, unbelievable.
Not too bad for a guy who turned 40 the week leading up to the NFC Championship game. He keeps himself in such superb physical condition and still loves everything that goes along with football. He may play till he's 60.
Throwing on first down is Breeze. And this will be incomplete. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And that'll bring up second down. Now the New York Giants star playing in the Pro Bowl as a rookie, Saquon Barkley. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37. The starting defense now for the AFC.
One of the best young safeties in the NFL, Jamal Adams. Keep an eye out for him because no one is safe when he's on the field, including mascots. Just ask Pat the Patriot. Jamal Adams was also the 2019 Pro Bowl defense.
And now off to the races, down the right side. And touchdown. Adam Thielen, 37 yards. And the NFC has taken the early lead. So the NFC with our first touchdown of the game. And, of course, we'll probably see some offense in this one. I don't know, though, that we'll see what we saw in 2013 when the NFC posted 62 points.
You talk about pyro. Technics. That was crazy, even for a Pro Bowl. 62 points. I think you wore out your voice in that one, talking about all the touchdowns that were scored.
I would love to see 63 or more, though, I got to tell you. All about offense in this thing.
Pro Bowl offense. Let's go.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Mahomes in the AFC now with a 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line. Now Mahomes. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards for Patrick Mahomes. What a season he had. First as a full-time starter, and he goes over 5,000 yards, 50 touchdowns, and rewarded with his first Pro Bowl.
And think about if you're in Kansas.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And he floats one there, incomplete. DeAndre Hopkins, the Pro Bowler, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Now here's Mahomes. And he gets it to his KC running mate. That's Tyreek Hill. Mahomes finding Hill for a big play. 47 yards.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
Mahomes going to throw. And that is caught for an AFC touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins from a yard out. And the AFC is an extra point away from tying this game up.
1st and goal. Forget running the football. Forget establishing anything. Just put it in the end zone with the pass for a touchdown.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's the definition of catching the defense off guard there. They weren't expecting that.
And that's totally...
Welcome to Madden NFL 20. Here you can try the all-new QB1 face of the franchise or enjoy the Madden you already know and love with Madden Ultimate Team, franchise, or a quick pickup game and exhibition.
Hello, everyone. It's the coach. Welcome to EA Sports coverage of the 2019 NFL Pro Bowl from right here in Orlando, Florida. Coming up, the AFC looking to make it 3 in a row as they square off against their rivals.
All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Straight ahead, bragging rights on the line in the 46th meeting of the AFC and the NFC in the 2019 NFL Pro Bowl game. Excitement? Well, we got that in abundance as this Pro Bowl is underway from Orlando, Florida. This is fielded at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The NFC offense taking the field, being led in blue by the NFL's all-time passing leader. 12th Pro Bowl nomination for the great QB from New Orleans, Drew Brees.
And you and I both know that this is not easy for him. It's fun to play football at any time, but you know he'd rather be preparing for the Super Bowl and still trying to get that missed call out of his head that may have prevented his Saints from getting there.
This is the Rams' Todd Gurley. Third Pro Bowl in 4 seasons. When you think about the history of this Pro Bowl game, there was an all-star game going all the way back to 1939, but it officially became called the Pro Bowl in, I think, 1951.
You're exactly right. And that game was played out in L.A., in the same stadium where the L.A. Rams currently play. And back then they split it into conferences, the American Conference versus the National Conference. The American Conference won 28-27. MVP of the game, quarterback Otto Graham, nickname Automatic. Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Well, he was so good throwing the football on 3rd down during the regular season. Why wouldn't it carry over here to the Pro Bowl?
Sometimes that's just who you are, right? If you're good at something during, as you said, during the regular season, so what if it's with a bunch of guys you're unfamiliar with? It's 3rd down, he finds a way to convert.
17 more yards on that one as they keep the drive rolling. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
The previous play went to the offense with a nice run, but that last play we just saw certainly went to the defense.
So you're keeping a little bit of a ledger there, aren't you?
Talent. Now Barkley stripped of the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's another 10 yards on that one and another 1st down. Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Credit the tackle to the Texans' middle linebacker, Benardrick McKinney. Play number 9 now on this pretty long opening drive. But this is 3rd down. Bree's going to throw. And he connects with Ertz. And now a fumble. The ball's out. And that's picked up by the AFC. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And here's a throw that's taken in by the tight end Cook. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up 1st downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that. In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. So not much to speak of scoring-wise in this first quarter of play. Can't wait to see what the second quarter has in store. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The tight end Kelsey has it over the middle. A good pick up there, 26 yards. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion. Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
Well, the NFC pressure a little too much as they get home for the sack. It's Ryan Kerrigan getting the sack.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
He finds Hopkins complete. He'll get 17 back there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent gain. Now they're in 4th and manageable.
Just a little short, though, with that marker. Mahomes going to go on 4th down. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And as a result, possession switches hands. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on 4th down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, 3rd down situation, big 3rd down alert, lock in here, 4th down play, make sure you focus just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Well, we've talked about this game being hosted here in Orlando, and you and I are quite familiar with this place, especially you. You live, what, 20, 25 minutes from here?
Yeah, not bad at all, right? An easy trip to come right to the studios here in Orlando. You, of course, have to give a little bit more effort, a quick flight, then you're here. But you know,
the ball comes out, and that's picked up by the AFC.
Okay, after those first 2 drives, I think there's a head coach who's going to be calling for CSI. They're going to want some forensics on this. What is going on with this ball club? Unable to hold on to the football and take care of it.
Yeah, 2 straight fumbles for them to start out.
Yeah, you would think that this team would come in ready to go. Sometimes just mentally not prepared, and it shows up in these types of plays.
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Mahomes. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius.
And that is caught for an AFC touchdown. Keenan Allen, 39 yards. And the AFC is in for 6. Great play, but admittedly, the tackling in the Pro Bowl, Charles, not always the best.
I would say that they're not quite as committed.
Keenan Allen. Touchdown, AFC. Jason Myers for the extra.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Myers connects on the PAT. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The offense for the NFC back out there. Well, we can continue to talk Pro Bowl as we go along, but let's talk a little Super Bowl. Super Bowl 53, 1 week from today over in Atlanta. New England taking on the Rams. Time for your Super Bowl prediction, CD. What do you think?
Well, everyone thinks defense when they think the New England Patriots. But in the time that they've had their head coach and their quarterback, Tom Brady, guess what? They're the #1 offensive team in the NFL. And you know the Rams are high flyers as well. So that tells me that this Super Bowl, low scoring. It's going to be a total anomaly. I'm thinking somewhere in the neighborhood of 13-10 final score. Going totally opposite what it should be.
Well, I'm going to completely disagree. I see high scoring, maybe 51-44, something like that. The two punters, Johnny Hecker and Ryan Allen, don't even show up to this one.
Johnny Hecker might throw a touchdown pass because you know the Rams like to fake it when he's on the field.
Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back here right after this. On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Back deep for the AFC, the Jets' Andre Roberts. Taking it about the 16. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the AFC will take over 1st and 10. Back out is the AFC offense. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good. So they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat good about game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Still first down.
Yellow.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. That's out to Hill, right side complete. A nice gain of 21 yards. Now the AFC going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. Mahomes now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. He's just been looking for some space. Yeah, I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this. And I think the ball's out, and that's picked up by the AFC. Skirts by him at the 35. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line.
This is really, really difficult for teams to coach because you love the extra effort, right? When he break a couple of tackles, I mean, he was really trying to gain the extra yardage, but you also have to have an idea that people are going to come up behind you from the side, trying to take care of the ball while you're trying to get extra effort. Sometimes you have to know when to say when and maybe just go down.
Hopkins on the grab over the middle, and he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. And that is caught for an AFC touchdown. Tyreek Hill, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the AFC is able to widen their advantage. Well, we saw that tandem hook up quite a few times during the regular season, didn't we?
We certainly did, and it continues now in the Pro Bowl. You have to know that even if they didn't consciously plan it, you do try and find guys you're familiar with in a game like this.
Now Myers for the extra point. Extra point up and through by Myers. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. You see the AFC defense heading back out there. And for their efforts so far, they deserve a little defensive montage here.
I like that. I like how you recognize what they're doing out there and how much...
Ready, 5-8, 5-8. I know he ain't got it.
Breeze now on first down. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. That'll bring up second down. Charles, this the 2019 Pro Bowl. The AFC's won both games that have been played here in Orlando since they moved it here. Both have been competitive, 20-13 2 seasons ago, and the last year in 2018 it was 24-23 the final.
Yeah, and 2 years ago, Travis Kelce, Lorenzo Alexander were the game MVPs, offense and defense respectively. And then last year, Delaney Walker of the Titans, their tight end, he won it on offense. And Von Miller of the Broncos won it on defense.
And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now, just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. Now the NFC going to take a timeout, their second, as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. They wound up getting nothing out of that second down completion, so now here's 3rd and 10. And this is going to be incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The AFC offense now set to start this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Over the middle, complete. It's Hopkins. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
Here we go.
And give him a gain of 37. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer. Certainly appeared like they had a great chance of that turning into a touchdown, but maybe led him just a bit too much.
Yeah, out of the back of the end zone. And that's tough on a 5-yard pass, but one of that distance, that can be tough to gauge when you're in the back of the end zone.
Yo.
Back to the air on second down. It's Mahomes. Open man is Hill. He's got it. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Mahomes now 13 out of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a first down. Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. That's Luke Kuechly with a sack.
It's interesting, partner, that most defenses try and guard the 35-yard line actively because they think the way kickers are nowadays, about a 52-yard field goal, they're kind of giving up points. But you get even deeper into territory, you get into the red zone, they're going to guard it even more, which means more pressure, more blitzing.
Mahomes firing complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Steps away to his left. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a fourth down.
Well, there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
And no move to get the offense off the field. Despite failing once, they're going to go again here on fourth down. To throw, it's Mahomes. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete. The AFC went for it, and it doesn't work out. And as a result, possession switches hands. So they've gone for it twice now on fourth down of this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2, if they get into a third situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
Credit the tackle to the Texans' middle linebacker, Benardrick McKinney. You look back a few years ago, Charles, when the Pro Bowl did that 3-year experimentation. I know you're a traditionalist. You like AFC versus NFC.
Yes, I do.
But for the games 2014, 15, and 16, they tried something a little different. They held essentially a fantasy draft for players. Year 1, it was Jerry Rice, Deion Sanders as captains. Year 2, Michael Irvin and Chris Carter. And then in year 3, Michael Irvin again matching up against Jerry Rice.
And one common denominator, every single one of those guys with a gold jacket, all of them in the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down. The #1 pick, Myles Garrett, coming in to drop him. Well, they go play fake. The problem is no.
Faked out. What's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Now Breeze. It's caught. Jones. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Well, we always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to hit.
And he loses the football a second time. And that's picked up by the AFC. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
15 yards through the air and a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Mahomes now perfect since the second half started, 7 of 7. And that is caught for an AFC touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, a 16-yard touchdown. And the AFC able to capitalize on the fumble recovery as it leads to 6 points. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit, get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Fielded about a yard deep. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The NFC offense heading back onto the field. And it's great to see the stars all out in one place. But in terms of football, what's really great to see is a very entertaining Pro Bowl as we are tied in the fourth quarter.
And how many of these guys thought going into this game, after a pretty easy week heading into it, that the pressure would ratchet up now?
Now Breeze lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's fourth down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
It's over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. They get 25 yards out of that one. And the NFC will have a first down. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And a loose football. But this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
To throw, it's Breeze. And a sideline pass, that's caught by Thomas. And out of bounds right around the 20. A gain of 6 there on first.
Timing is everything, and they work on this cut all the time. They work on all the timing patterns, and this time it paid off for them. Worked him to the center of the field, cut it to the outside, ball's delivered, gets both feet down for the completion.
That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. Brees Stearns for the NFC first.
I know I spend a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Check. Easy, opposite.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? Jumping all the way from the outside, maybe getting a little early start in the corner blitz.
And the only time it makes sense to get that penalty is exactly as you described. Otherwise, he should never get that penalty.
And Barkley will try to punch it in. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And that'll make it 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
And he will carry this one in. Touchdown, NFC. Saquon Barkley taking it in from 2 yards out. And the NFC able to get a bit closer.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know.
Doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And this is going to be secured by the AFC. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Let's go.
Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So the AFC with the football as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. Interesting, Mahomes wants to throw it. And this is caught at the 8. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. It's Mahomes. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
So an incomplete pass a moment ago, and that leads to 2nd and goal. Now it's Mahomes again. Trying to lob it in there, but it's incomplete.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your running plays, fire another one into the end zone.
That's caught at the 2. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Now the NFC going to take a timeout, their second, as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game. And they're going to go for this thing. They're not going to leave anything to chance. They're going to roll the dice on 4th and goal. Mahomes now to throw. And that is caught for an AFC touchdown. DeAndre Hopkins, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the AFC adds on to their lead.
And, partner, you know I'm a big advocate of taking tape measures and just throw them away. I want to know if a guy can flat-out play. Well, DeAndre Hopkins is about 6'1", and we're used to the guys who go up and take it one-handed like we just saw there. 6'3", 6'4", 6'5" guys. In this case, he plays way taller than what he's listed, doesn't he?
He does indeed, and that was spectacular.
And we've got to watch him work his routine. We saw it during practice during the week. We saw it in pregame. He works hard at these one-handed catches. He's not just showing off.
The extra point now coming from Myers. Myers connects on the PAT. A drive that time of 6 plays. And it ends with an AFC touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Here's the NFC offense set to take over again. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. The Pro Bowl tight end Zach Ertz, the intended target, and now it's 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Now Breeze. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it. Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Breeze to throw again. And that'll be incomplete. The numbers for the NFC on third down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This will be third and a mile. Breeze going to throw. And this one incomplete. So the clock stopped now with 20 seconds remaining.